Hi, I'm Sean MacDuff. I play Aspen Echoes, and I'm here to answer some questions.
Tell us about Aspen. Tell us what's his current build and how did you get there?
So, his current build is level one rogue, and then two level of bard. Um, his childhood class being a level nine rogue, the way I kind of tailored it was as he lost his levels, he gained more of another. Um, and basically down to that level one rogue, gaining bard levels after that. There's sort of a swap of levels. I personally did it that way because I liked what I got with a level one of rogue starting versus a level one of bard starting. And I thought it was thematic as, you know, he used to be a rogue and now he's a bard, but he still like has a baseline.
Yeah. And what we've talked about with Aspen's upbringing and how he entertained himself and how he adapted to life inside the Reverie estate, he's always had a little bit of bard in him.
Oh, absolutely. That was kind of the funny thing of it all, knowing how father was driving a lot of the training to the children, more to those who showed magical ability. And I like the idea of Aspen being that quarter caster, having a hard time. Like he has some magical ability, but it was like a small amount. That wasn't really his focus. He excelled at a lot of other things, but nothing that father really seemed interested in. So the irony being, once he started diving into his passions, being music and the acting, the characters and stuff that he does, that magical ability manifested way more in just what father would had been looking for if he let Aspen if he pushed Aspen into those sort of pursuits instead of Aspen doing it on himself.
Yeah. So were there outside of D&D, were there particular influences that drove you towards this kind of character?
No, not really. I think some years ago I was just playing with character builds, and I mean, really, it came all the way back from the first campaign that we did together, and some of the influence and like factions that are in Faroth during that campaign, and that I, remembered years later, and I'm like, I really want to explore that, and so I kind of built the character to fit into that role more. Originally, it was going to be full bard, but I thought it made more sense to do the multi-class as we got closer to this campaign and started fleshing out who Aspen was, and I just thought the rogue bard is such a good multi-class sort of synchronicity there.
We have talked about some similar characters, whether they are intentional or not. We've talked, since I pitched this campaign idea to you guys, I mentioned the Umbrella Academy as a very integral starting point as far as influences go. And I think amongst those siblings, there's definitely connections that someone could pull from Aspen to both Allison and to Vanya/Victor. Really, it's the musical aspect there.
It's funny you say that because rewatching the Umbrella Academy, already having Aspen basically fleshed out a while ago, I'm watching it and I'm like, oh no, I just combined both of these characters into one.
Not a bad thing to do. And then also, gosh, I connected Aspen to Quoth recently, and I think there's a lot of Quoth in Aspen as well, which will be exciting to see.
He's right here in that book.
Yeah.
That you can't really see back there.
Mine should be right over there, but now that I'm thinking about it, Tawny might have my copy.
I could see that though.
Tawny, give me my book back.
That, performer sort of full of himself telling the grand story. I could make that connection, sure.
Aspen does have a little bit of an unreliable narrator inside of him.
100%.
And Quoth is an unreliable narrator, and Ross can fight me on that. What ability or spell or class feature or what thing do you mechanically get that you are most excited to use?
It could have been online already if I didn't multi-class and just wanted to go straight rogue for a little while. But Mage Hand.
Mm.
The Ledgerman, what is the Mage Hand Ledgerman from the Arcane Trickster? Yep. That I think is going to be a lot of fun. Being able to just sort of do cheeky Aspen things. Also, I want to play with Unseen Servant more. I think there's a lot of utility there to be sort of utilized if you do it the right way. That spell has a lot of interpretation in there. As long as you do it within the bracket rule set that's there, that's one of those like at your own creativity sort of things. Yep. I think that could be fun as well.
Especially useful in a setting where magic is not well liked.
Right. Invisible magic. This is what we want.
Yeah, the more invisible magic you guys can have, the better. Sean, how are you hoping that Aspen will grow, change, adapt over the course of the campaign?
This is a hard question because I'm still learning about him. That's kind of the folly of spending so long coming up with a character. I mean, I spent years at this point kind of fleshing this character out in my head. And then you play them and it is kind of what you were going for, but like not, because you don't know the character until you play it, and Aspen's already different from what I had expected. Not in a bad way or anything, just it's also my ability to execute that. Although I think knowing my headcanon for who Aspen is and what he does and why he does the things that he does, I know that he doesn't really know who he is himself a lot of times.
He hides behind characters.
Yeah, that's it. And he stays in character. Everything's a character. And I would like him to find who he is. I don't know how to do that. Sean the player.
That's a lot of fun.
That would be something that we can explore together. I think could be interesting.
That's like a breaking point. That's a low moment in Aspen's arc where, you know, all of the characters that he's played along the way have been stripped from.
I don't like that.
Ooh.
That's a bad image.
Ooh,
oh no!
Do that.
All right, delete this before you remember it.
No, I'm gonna take everything from you, Sean. What kind of challenges do you think are going to be most difficult for Aspen?
Combat.
Yeah.
Combat. That's it.
Obvious answer.
I did not build a combat-oriented character. I built a character who's really good at staying out of combat. If a fight breaks out, he did not do his job.
Yeah. So because we're playing Dungeons & Dragons.
I know.
And the majority of the rule books are like, here are the things you fight, here is how you fight them. So what you can still be useful in combat without being the damage guy. Right. You know, the support character is just as important. I don't have a single damaging spell. I don't. It's a choice that I made, and it could be a poor choice. We'll see. But I have sneak attack, so it's not like I don't have something that I can do. Of the one battle that we've had so far, you had one of the 2 kills.
Right. It was against a commoner, but still, I got one. But, you know, like, support spells, Fairy Fire, very good, low level, helping. I mean, that fight went crazy, but Very good at helping the party get advantage. Good for me to get advantage on sneak attacks. Like, simple spells like that, where while I might not be doing damage with my spell casting, I can cause distractions. I can help the party by giving advantage. All of these kind of little things there. But as a whole, combat is not going to be in Aspen's wheelhouse. If he gets into a one-on-one fight, he's going to have a hard time.
I don't foresee that happening because, like you said, you've built a character who's so good at staying out of combat. I feel like when combat does happen, 9 times out of 10 it will be because of one of the other siblings, and by that I mean Penth or
so far Penth is not the one that I picked to be the problem. Yeah, here we are.
You thought it was going to be Thomas?
I definitely thought it was going to be Thomas.
Yeah, that's fair. So similar to the previous question about challenges that your character will have to overcome, what is your greatest challenge when role-playing Aspen?
Well, one, playing a 20 charisma character without being 20 charisma myself is difficult. As we can all imagine, me, if I had 20 strength, playing a 20 strength character, because I don't have to prove it.
But that's the thing with charisma, too, is like, you can describe charisma. There is sort of an imbalance in role-playing. If somebody has a character who has a 20 strength, you don't need to get up from the table and go over and deadlift 600 pounds. You just don't need to. But then on the opposite end of the spectrum, if you're playing a character who is incredibly charismatic or incredibly smart, has a 20 in their intelligence, and there's a puzzle that the DM puts in front of the players, there's a pressure there for that 20 intelligence character to solve that puzzle.
Sure.
But that shouldn't be the case. Like, just because Aspen has a +5 charisma modifier, and don't get me wrong, I think you're an incredibly charismatic guy.
Thank you. I'm a +2 at best.
But you can describe being charismatic without having to be charismatic at the table yourself.
Sure.
I think for many introverts, D&D can be a game where you get to be someone else without having to be someone who is sort of forced to break out of their shell. I think an introvert could play a bard if they wanted to. They don't have to be able to play an instrument at the table or sing or be charismatic. They just have to be able to describe it.
But that's the obvious answer. I think the less obvious answer is there are personality traits about Aspen that I have a hard time playing. Not just in D&D, but like if I'm playing any RPG, like video game and stuff that has to do with how my, character in the game is interacting with the random NPCs and the dialogue choices that I choose, even if they're preset, but there's always like, here's the asshole one, here's the nice one, here's the smart ass one. Like in all of those, I play a certain style. The Stormslayer campaign, Antony was a lot more in the Sean MacDuff style of random game playing. Aspen is a more difficult style for me to play in how I know he's going to react to certain things. We'll see how that kind of plays out as we get there.
Yeah, can you be more specific without being too spoilery? I don't mind if there are like minor spoilers.
As a whole, I think as I was developing his backstory and I looked into his relationships with people, and how he ends up treating them, I learned that he's a very selfish person, who it's him before anything. That's his sort of like survival tactic, right? Is putting him first. I'm curious to see how this is going to play in his Simply dynamic, though. That could be different. The family tie is is there.
Okay, I was gonna ask that as a follow-up, if like the siblings were included in that.
Maybe a little bit.
Okay,
He did leave them
that's
first,
true. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not there. Now, what degree is it there? We'll see. But there's other major characters, at least to Aspen, that is very relevant. And so it's that, that sort of self-preservation, selfishness that's there, and as we might see, his using of people could be a challenge for me.
Okay.
Right? Because I just don't like that quality, but it's funny because you're like, Sean, you made this character. Why did you make a character that does that? Because that's who Aspen is, you guys. Like, yes, I made the character, but the character makes itself too.
Yep.
Like, it's just, you start, and this is the direction it goes. So I'm excited to play that. I'm excited for the challenge to play that.
Do you think Aspen sees, whether it's conscious or subconscious, do you think Aspen sees other people as disposable?
I think he probably sees a lot of people as disposable.
What would Anthony say?
Oh, he would hate it. He would hate it.
Would Anthony hate Aspen?
Probably.
Oh.
Probably. They're so two different personalities that just wouldn't mesh well at all. I don't think they would like each other.
Yeah.
But Aspen's pretty good at being the person he needs to be to the person he needs to be.
Yeah.
That person too.
Yeah.
So, although Anthony was pretty wise, he might have saw through his bullshit.
Oh, for sure. So that's a way that you're different from Aspen. How are you similar?
I think both Aspen and I have a tendency to make light of situations that probably should be a little bit more serious.
Yeah.
I think that might be a common trait. Sometimes stop joking so much and be serious in this moment. Although we've seen Aspen serious in a few things, but also he's taken a lot of the campaign so far with a grain of salt and a lighter air of how serious the rest of the siblings may seem. And if it doesn't seem that way, then that's on me portraying him not doing what I feel that he's doing in my head.
No, I think you did a pretty good job of that, especially session 2, with all of the craziness that happened in session 1. Most of session 2, Aspen was like, I don't believe this. Like,
yeah,
it's not what it seems. You guys are overreacting, was kind of the vibe that I got from Aspen.
That's what I was going for.
There was a definite point in session 2 where that like oh shit moment happened, which was very interesting to watch.
Has there been a clear difference between the two main characters that have happened so far that you've been able to see?
Main like personalities of Aspen?
Yeah.
There's so apart from just the voice, which I think you're doing a pretty good job of separating through there is the Aspen that is a little bit uppity, that is living amongst like the elite of Faroth, who can just wander into Zechariah Vandler's home and be like, yeah, this is fine, right? And that's the Aspen that I feel like was kind of ignoring all of the stuff that had happened in session 1, and to some degree ignoring the complexities of his siblings. And then there's the other Aspen that I feel has displayed almost... I feel like the other Aspen has a darkness to him that is very subtle until you notice it, and then it becomes very obvious. That's the Aspen that is donning the mask and the hood. That's the Aspen that is, trying to figure out who Epoch is and what to do with the body of Thomas, and the one who, without a second thought, is just going to slice open a civilian's throat. I feel like they're two very different personalities. So
good.
Yeah.
Because I think that I'll add that to what is the difficult thing to play Aspen, and I think it's going to be differentiating different characters.
Yeah.
Like, where's this line? Where's the line between this one and this one? Or maybe they bleed sometimes. Who's to say? But I just think the concept of a character within, or many characters within the character, is a really fun idea that I look forward to exploring.
So another question: do you think the other siblings know who the real Aspen is? Like, how long has Aspen been playing a character? Do you think that there will come a point in the campaign where all of the characters have been stripped away and the other siblings will see an Aspen that they haven't seen in 18 years?
Yeah, I mean, like, who were you as a 10-year-old?
Right.
As an 8-year-old? As a 6-year-old? How young was he when he started doing characters as a coping mechanism? As his escapism? Maybe. I don't know if anybody does right now.
Yeah. So, 4 sessions in, none of us have seen the real Aspen. We've just seen the various personalities that Aspen has convinced himself that he is.
I think Aspen knows. All right, if we go behind the curtain a little bit, I think Aspen knows what characters he's doing.
Yeah.
Without it being too spoilery, Aspen Echoes is a character. The movie star socialite person that Aspen Echoes has become is a character that he became for reasons that we'll find out.
Yeah. All right.
Now Aspen, the other Aspen that we've met so far, maybe less so, but also we'll see. Like, where does that mask get taken off?
I have a few ideas. Well, excellent. We've played 4 sessions now, and I've really loved getting to know Aspen, and I look forward
Me too.
to getting to know all of his different characters and then stripping them away and destroying them.
Don't do that. Leave his characters alone.
Until we find out who Aspen really is.
He's just a sad, scared little boy.
You are a sad, strange little man.
Yep.
That's probably it. Or
yeah.
maybe that's a character too.
No! Stop it! It's gonna be one of those, like, never-ending, like, pulling off the Scooby-Doo mask.
It's just one after another. Turns out it's not Aspen at all. It was
Old Man Jenkins!
It was Backram the whole time. Or Baruch.
Yep.
It was Baruch.
Sean, thank you so much for joining me this evening. Really enjoying Aspen so far, and looking forward to seeing all of his different characters.
Yeah, me too. I don't know what's there. We're gonna find out, though.
We're gonna find out.